If you watched any of our previous videos, you may have seen me use this tool quite a few times, especially when I'm tiling. But I've had a few people ask about it, so I thought I would give a little review of it today and tell you a little bit about it. This is DEWALT's three-way laser level. It has a very specific model number, is how DEWALT designates all their tools, and I don't remember exactly what that is, so I'll do my best to put it at the bottom of the screen right now. If that worked, it's right here. You may have seen laser levels before. There's tons of variety out there of what kind you can get. They are a huge range of prices, and there's a lot of different variations of what the laser itself will do. There's some lasers that will judge level over a distance. There's some that'll give you lines on a wall. Some will give you a 360 around a room. This one basically is a three-way green line laser level, and it's also their rechargeable one, which is one of the main reasons I got it. It works off of a 12-volt DEWALT rechargeable battery, which is a system I already use on a lot of stuff, so it makes it really convenient. I've had several other lasers before. The most recent one I've had was this Bosch two-way Redline laser. These work okay, and if you just have a limited use for these, let's say you're just wanting to level something on one wall, and if you're really limited, you just want to like hang some pictures on a wall and you want something to get a straight line on, something like this will work totally fine for that. And this would be overkill if that's all you're wanting to do is just level some picture frames on a wall. They both have their strengths and weaknesses here. The biggest strength of this is price. This one, I'm guessing, as I haven't looked out, it was around $80, I believe, US. And this one was around $450 US. That did include the battery with. They may have a little cheaper version of this without the battery, but the one I got that had an extra battery with it is around $450. So you could buy and break a lot of these for what you would pay for one of these. So they're super affordable. It's also way smaller than this one. So if you have limited space in your tool bag to keep up with them, you can see this one takes up way less space than this one does. This one actually comes with its own carrying case, which I keep it in there, partly because it is so much more expensive. If you work out of your vehicle like I do, and you can only carry so many tools with you, this one's definitely going to carry up a lot more space than this one does. And if you just want something to drop in your tool bag just to quickly check level at a site for anything you're doing, this one will work better for that. But price and size are probably the only two real advantages of this one in my book. Hold this up here, you would think, well, I'm going to cut this side out from my right side and this side out from my left side of the niche. But
be happier.
It's like I'm a crazy girl. Why would I be this happy? Whenever you're cutting this towel.
So
I'm just not happy. I'm trying to get a smile on my face. Hi kids. The advantages to this laser are several to me. First and foremost being it's rechargeable. If a tool is inconvenient to use, I hardly ever use it. If something's inconvenient to get to, if it's cumbersome to carry around, if It takes multiple parts to make it work. People just tend not to do it. That's the reason so many people now are using battery operated nail guns instead of pneumatic air guns where you have to carry around a compressor and all your air hoses. It's just so much more convenient just to have the gun itself, pop in a battery, and you're ready to go. Same way with this. I can't tell you how many times I've brought this laser out and it's dead. And I have to stop what I'm doing, drive to the store, grab a few AA batteries, pop it back in, and hope it makes it through the day. From what I've seen, this battery on a full charge, I can leave this laser on all day long and it doesn't run down. I've actually gotten a couple of days where I ran this all day without charging the battery and it worked all day long, which is a big, big bonus for this one. I'm sure some of the more careful observers noticed that the barcodes are still evident on some of these tile. And I know you're thinking I may have made a mistake, but that was intentional. It's always a good idea to leave at least one barcode exposed. That way, if you or the next homeowner ever have a tile break or is damaged in any way, they can easily scan that barcode and order another one to replace it. I'm just kidding. All that's going to be covered up. I'm putting the metal trim, and the metal trim will hide the whole front edge of this tile. Another stronger feature of this one is the fact that it's a green line laser instead of a red line laser. Amanda thought I was just being super picky, that I just wanted to look at a green light instead of a red one. And that really has nothing to do with it. The biggest thing about it is the green light shows up so much stronger than a red light does. I set up both relatively close to each other here in the shower. And this is an application which you would probably use this cheaper laser just to set up your grid for your tile in a pretty close proximity where it'll actually work. Because if you get too far away with this red laser, you won't be able to see it. I'll show you on this wall. These are the two lines that you're getting. And you can see with your laser set up fairly close to its target, you will be able to see this red laser. Like in here where it's not too bright in here and it's almost nighttime outside. You can see out that window, the sun is starting to set. I realize we got a lot of stuff in front of the window. Trust me, it is starting to set outside, so it's not super bright in here, which is the conditions you want when you're using this red laser. But just the contrast between this green laser, even the thickness of the line, this one shows up so much better than this one does. When you pan around the room is when it really shows up. I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but this one almost starts to disappear. And you get a little further over here, and like, can you see it on my hand? It's so faint that it's almost not there at all. And the green one is still showing up. That's the good thing about these green lasers is even in not ideal conditions, you'll still be able to see them. And you can see the degradation of the red one here. Like it starts out at its focal point, it's fairly good right there. But as it goes up the wall, the closer it gets to that light source above us, you can see it just vanishes. That's the problem with those. Even with the light on, the green casts all the way up and over. There's differences in intensity even with the green light lasers. This one you'll get about 100 feet supposedly that the light will show. I haven't had a distance inside a home yet where I cut out on me before I needed to. This one you're only getting about 30 feet. And honestly, I'd be surprised if you even got 30 feet out of this. Because there's been times where I've set it up in a room where I was trying to level my trim across the floor, and I would say over 10 or 15 feet, because the lights were on, this thing got so faint, I really couldn't even see what it was anymore. This one won't do that. This one is super bright and you'll be able to see it. The other big positive of this particular style is it's a three-way where this one is a two-way. And what that means is this one you'll get 2 points of reference. And I'll turn this light off just so you can see, because this one's light will probably be too bright for you to see it in this room. But if you can see on this wall, you have 2 points of reference in this. You have your horizontal and your vertical. That's all you get. Whereas with this particular laser, you get 3 points of reference. You get that one, which is the horizontal around the room. You get this, which is your vertical, and you've got one more vertical. If you can see, it's behind me there. And in most situations, if you're just a homeowner and you're looking for a laser just to do basic DIY projects, you may not need that third line. But in construction, you will use that more than you think. And when it comes to picking a laser or any tool like that matter, as far as brands go, I'm not a big brand person. If you notice, I do have a lot of DEWALT tools, but that's not because I'm just a huge DEWALT fanboy and I have to have all DEWALT everything to be happy. The biggest reason I pick mostly DEWALT battery operated tools is that's just the battery system I started in. And that was by accident. I was gifted a DEWALT drill before I even started doing this for a living, and I just had that battery system and I just kind of like added tool after tool based on that one drill. Because if any of you have ever purchased any battery operated tools before, you know the biggest expense is the batteries. So if you're trying to decide between a DEWALT laser or any of the other brands that have, you know, battery operated lasers, whether it be Milwaukee or Makita, any of those, I'm not going to try to convince any of you that one brand works better than the other. Mainly because I haven't tried the other ones, and plus I just feel like they're all pretty equal as far as their quality. And I'm sure some of you will just light up the comments saying, no, Makita's way better, DEWALT's junk, or vice versa, and feel free. I'm telling you right now, I don't know. I've worked around several people who had Milwaukee tools and Makita tools, and some of these guys just swear that it's the best brand. Some guys only use DEWALT for their best brand. To me, whatever works for you is the best brand. If you have a tool and it's working and you're already in that battery system, I recommend staying in that battery system. And if any of you are watching this are huge Bosch fans, this is one of, if not the cheapest laser levels they make. And Bosch makes some really good laser levels. They're probably more well known for their lasers than DEWALT is. This is just the cheapest one they've got. I don't have any of their rechargeable tools, and I don't like carrying around AA batteries, so these just weren't a big option for me. Whereas this one has a rechargeable battery, it just makes it easier for me. It also comes with this mounting bracket that I forgot to mention before. It is got some magnets on the back of it, so that if you're working with metal framing, it'll just pop right to that. It also has a little hole right here at the top. Maybe if I move the laser you can see it better, so that you can always just hang that up onto a screw onto the wall, you know, project across the room. And you can also use a tripod, which is what I do a lot. This one doesn't come with the same kind of stand. So it did come with a stand. It actually came with this one. And I actually ended up using this stand a lot for my GoPro. It's a real lightweight clamp stand, and it's got a pivoting arm so you can kind of adjust your laser where you want it, and it just screws into the bottom of this. And this one also has the threaded eye on the bottom so you can mount it on your tripod and raise and lower it just like this one. So if you're in the market for a green line laser, I'll leave a link in the description below for the DEWALT one. For my purposes, that is my preferred choice. But if you're not looking to spend that much money and you just have smaller projects, I'll also leave a link in the description below for the Redline Bosch laser. The reason I'm leaving a link to these two particular lasers is because these are the two that I have. So I really can't recommend one that I don't currently own because I don't know as much about it. But if you're in the market for a laser, hopefully some of this information was useful to you. Hopefully you got something out of it. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel below. It really helps us out. It's a little after 5 o'clock now, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up my buckets and head home. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and all of our videos so far this year. I really, really appreciate it. And especially to everyone who subscribed to our channel. We will see you again next time.